I just realized something. I still haven't made a true review retrospective video on one of my favorite video games of all time. That is Persona 5 Royal. Hey guys, Nishquick here, and what better time to talk about Persona 5 Royal than now? So guys, yeah, as you guys know, around a month or so ago, end of October, Persona 5 finally went multi-platform. It's something that we fans have been waiting for a while. For so many other people who didn't have a PS4 to finally get to play this game. Everyone on Nintendo Switch, these Switch fans wanted it the most. PC, it's so great to see this game on Steam. And the most surprising is Xbox Game Pass. That's so cool that this game is on Game Pass and so many people get to give it a shot on Game Pass, so that's awesome. But it's been 2 years since Royal has released. It's been around 2 years since I first beat the game, and I got it again on PC. It's been a lot of fun playing it again at 120 FPS, so cool. But I've only just beaten the first palace, so I'm just getting a refresher of what it's like, and it's inspired me to talk about it again and just give a basic review of what it's like, what it means to me as one of my favorite video games. So enough dilly-dallying, let's talk about Persona 5. Yeah, if you enjoy videos on video game analysis, video game reviews, usability studies like UX and UI in video games, even just casual discussions of some of my favorite games and memories in gamings, be sure to hit the like button on this video, hit that subscribe button for more content, and yeah, join the Nishquick Pops family. And be on the lookout for more videos like this. Anyways, here's my video on what Persona 5 means to me, and why I love it so much. My favorite turn-based RPG. Before I became a Phantom Thief. The year was 2018. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was nearing release, and my fall semester of finals were finally done. I'm at my friend's apartment playing Ultimate for the very first time, when I opened Twitter to see Joker trending. Joker? Did Jared Leto unfortunately reprise his role again? That's not very exciting news. I opened up the tweets to see a lot of my gaming friends were overjoyed at the announcement of the first DLC character for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Joker from Persona 5, a game I'd heard about but never really played. The friend who I was visiting that evening told me how much he loved the game and showed me his awesome PS4 Persona 5 controller skin. This visual style and aesthetic just resonated with me. That one trailer and that one announcement changed my future as a fan of video games. The following months, I watched videos upon videos of people gushing about how perfect this game is, how absolutely stacked it is with content, how its design and visual identity surpasses that of most modern video games. I also unabashedly listened to most of the major songs from the soundtrack on repeat again and again. So yeah, I was that one Persona 5 fan who was the biggest fan in the world who hadn't played any of the games. So yeah, that was the biggest issue for me. I didn't really have a means to play it because I was in a different city from my home and my PS3 was at home. So I would have played it on PS3, but I couldn't, like, instantly. I didn't have a PS4 either. I unfortunately did not have a PS4 in the entirety of the PS4 lifecycle. And honestly, I was about to like bite the bullet, get my PS3 over to my apartment and play the PS3 version. But soon, the definitive edition Persona 5 Royal was announced. And this is the definitive edition with new characters, new stories, new dungeons, quality of life, all that. So I was like, there's no point in playing the original anymore at all. So might as well just wait till the rumored PS5 comes out. So yeah, this was 2019. Rumors of the PS5 were coming, and long story short, I was lucky to get a PS5 at launch, and the first game I downloaded was Persona 5 Royal. And yeah, here I am playing it again on Steam. I don't know if I'll spend 126 hours again, but it's been fun playing this game again, seeing it in a new kind of coat of paint, and just reliving that Phantom Thief life again. It's been fun. Presentation. If I had to pick what my favorite thing about Persona 5 Royal is, it's actually not really the core gameplay, combat, or story, any of that. It's actually the aesthetic and the visual design. I am an aspiring UX designer myself, and this game is a designer's dream come true. So each of the Persona games directed by Katsura Hashino himself have their own dedicated color scheme, visual style, and thematic identity based on the story, aesthetic, and colors. Persona 3 is about death, acceptance, and moving forward in the face of hardships, shown in a melancholy blue vibe. Persona 4 is about reaching out to the truth and finding one's true self. And though things can get grim, the yellow, orange, and bright aesthetic invokes a friendly and cordial feeling. Persona 5 is about rebellion, breaking free of the chains society has placed on you, and thwarting corrupt and evil adults poisoning society with their negative influences. As a Phantom Thief, you take up the role of a flashy and over-the-top dungeon-crawling thief, seeking to right wrongs in society and take down evildoers who are plaguing the society of Tokyo. Every visual element of this game truly represents this theme perfectly, whether it's the bright blood red of the dungeons and combat UI, the kinetic typography providing feedback to your powerful attacks and ambushes, the smooth and beautiful motion graphics that are so well presented and animated as you navigate the perfectly laid out menus, and of course, seeing those fantastically extravagant and bold all-out attack splash screens, which look like really awesome rebellious graffiti, but also have such a unique style to them, with each different character showing off how cool and awesome they can be, and how they stand out as a Phantom Thief themselves. That's a lot to take in at once, and some might say, this is just too much words, animations, colors, it's just too much to take in. But it fits so well because you as a Phantom Thief have a sense of urgency and this unique drive and confidence you don't have as a regular high schooler. And this information layout, or architecture and hierarchy, I should say, truly reflects that. And speaking of the high school life, this visual identity remains, because even as a normal kid living an honest student life, you and your friends have a secret. Something that makes you cooler than everyone else in Shujin Academy, or Tokyo for that matter. I'm not gonna talk too much about combat and gameplay just yet, but wow, does this game have such a smooth flow to its combat. I know lots of people ignore turn-based games because of the fact that they're, well, turn-based. They're slow, sluggish, and just don't have a nice flow to them. Persona 5 is the opposite. The animations, music, voice lines, the menu pop-ins, all that do such a great job to keep the high octane and exciting energy of the combat alive and upbeat. There's never a drop in the fast-paced action. It's so fluid and seamless. It feels like an action game almost. The only downtime is in planning out my next move and determining a shadow's weakness. And I'll say this now. I played this game at 30 FPS on a PS5 before any of the patches or new versions or any of that. I played the PS4 version, and everything still felt smooth as butter. So replaying it again on PC at 120 FPS felt like a dream. Also, with the level of style this game has and how good everything looks aesthetically and visually, it honestly doesn't matter which system you play this game on. PC, PS5, and Xbox will give you the best performance, yes. But for you Switch users, this game is perfect for handheld play. It's honestly a game that's just made for the Nintendo Switch, which just has not been on the system for the past 5 years, unfortunately. Steam Deck is a great way to play too. My point is, now there is no excuse for not being able to play this game. It's on every platform. But all in all, I love this game's visual design so much, whether it's the user interfaces, the typography, the motion graphics, the animations. It all comes together to make a very visually and aesthetically pleasing presentation. And I love it so much. It's so great to see. Truly a masterclass in great game design. Story. So in Persona 5, you live a double life. The life of an honest, humble high school student in Shujin Academy in Tokyo, and the life of a crime-fighting, over-the-top, elusive phantom thief by the codename Joker, the leader of the Phantom Thieves of Heart. With the power bestowed to you by your personas and the cognitive powers of the metaverse, you explore the minds of corrupt adults in Tokyo and steal the treasures in their palaces, resulting in their confessions and them owning up to their wrongs in the real world. The story is great, but honestly, what's even better is the whole metaverse persona concept. So basically, the most evil adults in Tokyo who use people, cheat to gain success, and are just a plague to society can only be stopped by thwarting their palaces in the cognitive metaverse. A palace is a manifestation of that evildoer's negative thoughts and emotions, and within it resides that ruler's treasure. Once the route to the treasure is secured, the Phantom Thieves send a calling card to the ruler in the real world, calling out to them that they're going to take their heart and steal their treasure. Palaces are so cool since they're all reflections of what the ruler truly represents. For example, the Palace of Madarame, the plagiarist artist who feeds off of the success of others, is the Museum of Vanity, a museum full of other people's art which Madarame has claimed as his own. Another example is Kaneshiro, who's a mob boss and con man in Shibuya who runs the mafia. His palace is the Bank of Gluttony. Kind of self-explanatory there. These palaces are so symbolic in their visual design, dungeon exploration, and puzzles. But more importantly, it's so satisfying, thwarting these evil societal menaces, seeing them cower in fear when the Phantom Thieves win, and seeing them hilariously repent for their sins. It's just so great and satisfying to see. And of course, with success, the Phantom Thief fame and success grows. You get fans at school, fans online, and of course haters and notoriety in the media. I won't say too much on where the story goes, but the twists and turns get really interesting and some things I really didn't see coming. Overall, it's a really awesome premise and a really cool concept for a video game story with the whole metaverse setting. It's also a really long story and narrative. You basically live an entire school year from April all the way till February. But once you come to the end, you just don't want to leave this amazing cast of characters in this awesome world that's been built. You really get to know these guys and everyone else around you. You have so many confidants and friends to hang out with, and they range from friends in school, members of the Phantom Thieves, and other people around Tokyo with different jobs and different lives compared to yours. You got your back alley doctor Takemi, the shady airsoft owner Iwai, the nosy journalist Oya, the mysterious and shy shogi champion Hifumi, and that's just a handful of some of the really awesome and cool characters you get to hang out with in this game. Overall, this game has a great cast of characters and an awesome and engaging story. If any of you are a fan of anime or JRPGs in general, you definitely should check this game out because I know you guys would love it. Gameplay. Again, like I mentioned, this game has a double life mechanic, high school life and Phantom Thief life. But what's so cool is everything you do in the real world as a high schooler positively and beneficially helps you in the metaverse as a Phantom Thief. So you have different stats to level up in the game. Of course, your persona stats just by leveling up, but you also have confidant levels and social stats. Confidants are leveled up by hanging out with friends, and certain levels give some really beneficial perks. For example, rank 7 of Takemi's confidant gives you a 50% discount on all the items sold at her shop. But you might also need some stats in your social stat of guts to get there, just to have a little more courage to approach that situation. Likewise, An gives you an ability to charm a shadow into submission with her confidant progression, but you might also need to reach a certain threshold of kindness to get to that point and relate to An a little bit more. So leveling up confidants and social stats in tandem in the overworld truly helps the metaverse experience. Also, this game has time management galore. Since it's a calendar-based game, you need to really manage your time to reach your goals and make sure whatever it is you're doing it right and it's beneficial to your Phantom Thief progression. It also makes you plan out when to explore the metaverse, the particular palace you need to tackle, or when to send a calling card out to the ruler. The metaverse exploration is really fun and a major step up from the procedurally generated dungeons in Persona 3 and 4. You'll be stealthily avoiding guards, battling formidable shadows, solving complex puzzles, and uncovering some interesting mysteries about the palace ruler in question. Also, the turn-based combat is great too. Like I mentioned, the flow is nice and smooth. You have melee and ranged attacks you can use, in addition to your personas as well. Like Pokemon and Shin Megami Tensei, the parent series of Persona, you can exploit enemy weaknesses with your persona to deal more damage and get extra turns to maximize damage output. The inclusion of baton passing and technical damage also really sets this game apart from earlier entries in terms of combat. Also, you have some really cool animations with these Showtime attacks, which are tag team attacks, which you can do with certain party members. Just really, really awesome. Honestly, I actually like the overworld Tokyo high schooler aspects a little more than the metaverse Phantom Thief stuff. And that's because all the things I've done in this overworld area of the game directly influence how well I am performing in the metaverse. So it was really rewarding to achieve all this stuff in the real world and get a boost in my metaverse performance. So that was really cool. Honestly, the gameplay loop of Persona 5 Royal is really, really awesome. It's addicting and a real time sink, and just makes you really delve into the life of an honest Tokyo high schooler and a valiant and heroic Phantom Thief. Music. Sure, some of you have heard the silly meme of Persona 5 invented jazz, but in all honesty, this soundtrack has some very unique music. Unique in the sense that, before listening to it, I hadn't heard anything like this in my life. A very chill, yet bouncy, vibrant, and flamboyant feeling comes from a lot of these songs, and you can tell which songs are metaverse songs and which songs are real-life high school Tokyo songs, just by their vibe and feeling. But the soundtrack as a whole still has a constant, rebellious, yet classy and charismatic vibe to it. I actually looked it up, and Persona 5's OST is classified as acid jazz. I did listen to that genre a bit after beating the game, and honestly it's great, but like I said, Persona 5's sound is in a league of its own. Like, honestly, to all the people who have played the game, tell me in the comments, have you ever heard songs in real life like Rivers in the Desert, Life Will Change, and Beneath the Mask? Maybe I'm not looking hard enough, but some of these songs are just so unique and amazing and nothing like I've ever heard before. They fit so well into the setting that is built within the game too. All credit goes to the amazing Shoji Meguro, who is a longtime composer at Atlus, who has worked on Persona 3 and 4 as well as many other Atlus games. He's one of my favorite composers, and Persona 5 is up there in my top 5 video game OSTs. The entire soundtrack is on Spotify and Apple Music, so be sure to check it out sometime. Some of my favorite non-spoilery songs include Life Will Change Instrumental, Layer Cake, life goes on. And Kichijoji 199X. So that's a little bit of my thoughts of Persona 5 Royal. One of my favorite games of all time. Such a detailed, well-crafted, well-made JRPG, and it just makes you want to be a Phantom Thief and just kind of live that life. It's a really cool atmosphere, idea, concept, all of that, and I really think it's a nice gateway into the JRPG genre as well. I think both Persona 4 Golden and Persona 5 Royal are great starting points for JRPG fans. They are very long games, but just take your time. As the game itself says, always on the loading screen at the bottom right corner, you always see Joker just looking like that, and it just says, take your time. So yeah, take your time with the game. It's a lot of fun, it's very rewarding, and it's not a game you just beat instantly. You have to put in some effort, planning, time management, but it really pays off. It's really cool. Maybe one day you'll become a Persona fan like me. Like today, how I'm repping my Persona 5. Anyways, this is Nishquick signing off. Play Persona 5. Let me know how you feel. Any single system, PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, it's everywhere now. So yeah, enjoy your time as a Phantom Thief. This is Nishquick signing off. Have a great day, and don't forget to steal some hearts.